Lester hit the record button this time.
Yeah, and with that, hey guys, welcome back to some more Outland. Yeah, I love it when you have, recording issues, even though it's not that big of an issue.
Yeah, I
That's
know, it
besides
wasn't
the
that
point.
big of an issue. I just thought it would be a funny intro.
I, I,
Anyways,
I want to bring up the thing we ended the last video on, where we were talking about this is a profile that already has like most of the trophies unlocked. I wanted to bring it up because I mentioned there was an update more recently that turns on and off notifications for trophies. That actually kind of speeds up the system a bit. Because
it
you know when you
does.
get a trophy, you see the hard drive light on the system blink because it's loading new stuff.
Yeah.
It actually takes a little bit longer for stuff to load if it's doing that. If it's trying to pop up a new trophy. You'll notice in games like Sonic Generations, because you have a little bit of a frame issue, like a frame rate issue, it just slows down a little bit until the trophy appears. So if you have no trophies appearing, it actually makes the game a tiny bit faster. Nothing too major, it's just more or less to keep it like a stable frame rate. Because I noticed that a lot in Sonic Generations in minor areas. Like you do the thing to get like the 7 tricks for a trophy, you see the frame rate drop to half. And then when it comes up, then it speeds back up. It's kind of weird how trophies work on this system. Although that's a
But
feature I honestly thought they should have had for years now. The Xbox had that system for years, and this just took it, what, like 6 or 7 years in the making?
well, granted, whenever you're actually, I'll give an example. Lester and I were playing Portal 2 yesterday, trying to I was trying to help Lester get some of the co-op trophies. that kind of little thing that he was just mentioning about the trophy update. That was actually kind of working against him because he's like, I didn't get the trophy. And then he remembered. He's like, oh yeah, that's right, I turned it off.
Well, it's useful if you're going for stuff like that. Like, I was so close to finishing up all the trophies in Portal 2, why not just finish? But for like recording purposes, I like to keep them off just because not only is it distracting, but it does kind of slow down the pace a tiny bit when there's like frame rate issues. So it just to be safe.
Whenever I record, granted, I wouldn't do that. I would do the method that you're doing right now for League recordings. But like,
Yeah.
whenever I'm like doing something on my channel and I get a trophy, I like to show it because I like showing people how to get said trophies and kind of helping them in certain situations because I know in one episode of my Agris Let's Play so far, I kept the part where I got the trophy of capturing a monster, and honestly, I've been getting a lot of comments saying thanks for showing me how to get that trophy. I've been having so much trouble trying to get that trophy. And I was like, okay, well,
Yeah,
that
I
was
know
a
what you
benefit.
mean. It's like for the most part, from just going through the game like this, it's not going to give me anything that's hard to get.
Yeah,
So I can
that's
understand for that point. Like
Yeah.
if there's stuff that it's harder to get because of certain requirements, it is nice to have.
Okay,
I guess
folks,
I'm one of those people who
we can
doesn't
tell-
really like a
we can-
watermark like that.
You don't like watermarks like that? Okay. Well, I'm a trophy whore, so everybody knows that, so. Everybody, at least, that knows me, knows that. So.
I was about to say, because yeah, back in the day, you also said you were an achievement whore on 360.
I was an achievement whore on the 360. And Miguel, you want to know what my gamer score was back then?
Too
When
big.
I actually gave a shit about my 360? It was like, I think 30,000. That was a lot of points. I'm gonna say that right now. Like, granted, that's not like, of course, if I say that now, I'm probably gonna get a comment saying, "Oh, what the heck? That's not even that good."
Well, of course, there's always that one guy out there who's gonna say
Yeah,
that.
but like to me, that was a lot because holy crap. But anyways, what was the thing that you just got? We just completely talked over.
Oh, it's the launch pad skill. We can finally, after all this time being taunted with those launch pads, we can finally launch ourselves from them.
Oh wow.
And that's the final power in the game. So now, if you really wanted to, you can go back to previous worlds and collect all the other money jars and artifacts that you could have missed.
But unfortunately, Lester's not
But
going to be
because
doing
it takes
that. and
forever, and the reward isn't really that major for it, it's really helpful to get all the artifacts, but for a playthrough like this, it's not needed. So I don't do it. The reward for getting every single mark of the gods, it's basically double damage. That's all it is. And while that's useful, the only place I'll really get a use out of that is probably the final boss, so that's why I'm not doing it here, and that's why I didn't even do it in my Let's Play.
Oh, he disappeared, and then he got beamed to the face.
Well, yeah, that's the advantage of having your laser power. He teleports, so you just fire your lasers. That's all you gotta do.
And since we were on the topic of trophies, I just got a platinum last night.
I saw that on Facebook when I got home. Like, oh, okay, looks like you finished that game.
I got a platinum on Deadpool, which I might do a recording for League. Either me or Angie will do that, because that game's funny. That game.
Yeah, from what I've heard, yeah.
I mean, granted, okay, guys, it's a hack and slash game, like kind of like Devil May Cry. Of course, it's gonna be repetitive as heck, but it's actually really funny, and it's a really short game too. So.
Then again, we've already done repetitive games on the channel. Some of them a little bit more repetitive than others, and we've managed. I think the only time we really had an issue was X-Blades.
Yeah.
But that was for a lot of other reasons too.
Well, at least I think I know why the game is pretty funny, because like one thing that Deadpool does, if you have like, okay, his like superpowers are called momentum attacks, and like sometimes whenever you have full momentum bars and you're not using it, he'll just it says, "If you don't use that momentum, I swear I'm going to kill myself."
Yeah, because he doesn't know what the fourth wall is, so he will break it all the time.
No, he didn't just break it. He like took a rocket launcher to the wall and just blew it up. But that's the Merc for the mouth. Merc with the mouth for you. So, anyways, there you go. Energy upgrade. Do you have enough monies?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Okay.
Although we will be coming up to a point, I think, later on where I won't have enough. But those are some of the upgrades that require you to go really out of your way for money. So it would make sense. So in order to get pretty much all the upgrades in the game, you really need to go out of your way for money.
Yeah.
In fact, there's actually one area in the jungle we can't show off because I need to go backtrack to it. I'm not doing it. It has so much in there, not just a Mark of the Gods, but just so much money. It's ridiculous.
Whoa. A pack!
Oh yeah, I don't even think we even mentioned this when we got that charge ability, but those guys that lunge at you, you can't stun normally, but using that charge attack, you actually stun them.
Yeah, so you can actually stun them for be like, "Hey, you stunned me." Well,
yeah,
you know
because you can't stun them normally, so.
Screw you too. Here.
And this should be the end of this level. Yep. Almost to the end. Just a little bit more.
Mist-shrouded forest.
I don't get why they call it forest. There's not too much forest here. The only forest I saw was that one dead tree in the
This
background.
kind of reminds me, this is just a mountainous area. It's not like a forest.
It is more like a mountain area. So that's why.
Do we mention that your PSN profile, which don't ask him by the way, but like his icon is it has the Outland icon because he likes it so much. I think we mentioned it. Like maybe
I don't think we did.
Maybe whenever you finally upload this, Lester, you should like for the first part have like the thumbnail be that picture.
Nah, it'd probably be like title screen or something.
Probably.
Because well, it's not really that like special. It's pretty much just the artwork of the main character.
Mm-hmm.
Which is nameless.
I think they just call him Warrior.
I think that's the only way they'll refer to him, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Hero, in this case, I think. It's our Warrior or Hero. It really depends on the context. I think it's more Hero than anything else.
Don't mind me, guys. I'm just hanging out.
Yep. Although if you stand up there, you're not going to like yourself. I've done that before, and if you do, you're pretty much jumping and changing your colors all the time. It's annoying.
Lester has almost half the work of the gods. Holy crap.
Well, I'm wanting to get at least like a set amount because it improves your skills here and there. So, if it's not too far out of the way, I'll grab it.
Yeah.
A good chunk of them are really far out of the way. Like, beginning of the level, really backtrack throughout, far out of the way.
Whoa.
Honestly, I don't know why in this room I didn't use the ball attack.
That's just like a clusterfuck of red and blue dots.
Yeah, and you need to platform your way through it all.
Wow.
This is where playing on an HD TV is pretty much a necessity for getting through without damaging yourself. I mean, it's possible to play this game on standard def TVs. I've done it twice already, but it's just... It just gets so much easier when you play like this. Because you can actually see half the stuff coming towards you much earlier. But then again, I think that's how pretty much all HD games work nowadays. Right? Any game with widescreen mode in general.
Ah, bat!
That wasn't a bat, that was a dragon.
That was a dragon. Oh,
Yeah, look at it.
to me.
What is
Ow,
the
that's-
matter with you?
I don't know. You should know. Actually, if Kevin was here, he'd be like, "Let me get my list down."
I was gonna say he has a big list of what is wrong with you, and it's well, let's just say they can't really fit in your apartment.
No. No, the reason I asked because there could be so many different things.
Why do you think I said the list can't fit in the apartment?
I know.
There's half of them.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't feeling that. Let me try again. Yeah.
I know we mentioned it. That's a sword, right?
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was like a spear or something.
Well, it kind of looks like it at first.
And checkpoint.
Yeah,
Oh,
required thing for first money. How you always assess the situation.
I want money first. Now that door's open.
Because you know how life works. It's like the important stuff, nah, that's number 2 in life. Number
Money.
1, money. It's kind of how it works.
Well, you need money to survive in today's society.
If you don't have any money, you're pretty much dead.
Why do you think the Great Depression was called the Great Depression? Because everybody had no money.
No, because everyone was depressed. Because they had no money.
Because they had no money.
Oh, you know it's true.
Actually, speaking of that, I actually learned in my personal finance class today that we were talking about the Great Depression and everything. And apparently when the stock, because he was going over the stock market, and what's so weird is, like, you don't realize how much stock affects, like, everything. And then apparently people actually committed suicide once the stock market crashed because they didn't have enough money to pay off the stock.
Yeah, some people really have to take it that seriously. It's that big of a deal.
I know, I know that's really kind of dark, but that's really kind of, I'm like, you just open your eyes and you realize, damn, money is important.
And that's why you don't invest in the stock market at that point in your life.